To discuss this further with me, I'm joined by Nick Harper, who's of course been giving us constant updates from Washington, D.C. Nick, we saw the Pennsylvania governor actually coming out. He was asked questions about the investigation, but at this point in time, of course, he chose to stay silent on it, but largely telling the people there about the status of those two injured who were present at the rally, and of course talking about the deceased person there who had attended that rally. But very important now, in fact, in the aftermath of that assassination bid, for the authorities to think about the next steps forward in terms of the rest of the campaign, as we have been talking about. We have seen Donald Trump there giving out two statements, but what are reports suggesting in terms of the Milwaukee event? This is, of course, it stays scheduled as we spoke earlier, but any kind of immediate changes that the Republican camp is looking at in order to ensure more security and also maybe tone down the scale of it in terms of the number of people who would attend such event, any information coming through on that front?
Yeah, just to pick up on a couple of things that Josh Shapiro, the Democratic governor of Pennsylvania, said there. He didn't know much about the investigation, but he did talk about political discourse at this time, really urging what we're hearing from both Democrats and Republicans, that it's time to turn the temperature down, to try and find a way to unify, even though those political differences remain in the United States. Now, in terms of the convention in Milwaukee, there is absolutely no suggestion that the Republicans or Donald Trump are planning to scale it back. Donald Trump has said that he is going, that he's looking forward to go. There will be about 50,000 Republicans there as well in the city of Milwaukee. We're told there will also be about 40 different law enforcement agencies there, working to keep everyone on site safe. One representative, a congressman from Arkansas, was asked earlier whether he was worried about going. He said he felt the convention would be the safest place on earth. And in terms of Donald Trump, it seems that he not only wants to push ahead with Milwaukee, that he wants to go and give his headline speech, he wants to go and announce his vice presidential pick, but he also wants to continue in the capacity we've seen him in the past, appearing before these large crowds, going to rallies. He does love a big rally where he can feed off the crowd, to speak to the people, even though it comes with that inherent risk, as we saw in Pennsylvania yesterday. No plans from him to reduce what he's doing or cancel events or scale back in any way, shape or form the type of political campaigning we've seen from him.
Right. And in terms of the Democrats, you are reporting from Washington, D.C. I believe President Trump is in D.C. President Biden, beg your pardon, is in D.C. And anything that we have heard from the Democrats camp, they have, of course, put their campaign on hold as well at the moment, as, the investigation and the authorities there piece together what actually went down in Pennsylvania. But in terms of the Democrat campaign, we've already seen President Biden, of course, condemning this entire incident, but any word on their front as well on what they are looking at in terms of events which are lined up over the next few days?
Yeah, just to give you some updates from the White House this morning, in just the last few minutes, it's been announced that President Biden will be speaking to the nation at 1:30 local time here. That is in just under an hour's time. He will be giving remarks from the White House. It won't be a press conference. It won't be an opportunity for reporters to ask questions, but it will be an opportunity for him to give some more gathered thoughts. We saw him jump on camera quite quickly after the shooting on Saturday evening, but this is a chance for him, almost 24 hours later, having taken stock of it, to speak about his position. We are likely to see this to be once again a call for unity. We're likely to see this again being a time when he says that this type of political violence has no place in America. We are unlikely to hear it being a time when he is calling for attacks on Republicans. It will not be a campaign speech. Instead, this is likely to be very much a presidential speech, a president speaking to the nation, calling for unity, and also urging Americans to think calmly about the coming days. And we're likely to hear him once again reiterating his condolences for the firefighter who died at the political event and extending once again his warm wishes to Donald Trump. They've also received a briefing at the White House this morning. We had the various different agencies speaking to the president, including the Attorney General, the Homeland Security Secretary, the Director of the FBI, and importantly, the Director of the Secret Service was also there briefing the president about what unfolded. She likely faced some very serious questions about those security lapses that led to that attempted assassination.
Right. And Nick, quickly before we let you go, any further word in terms of the investigation, in terms of the shooter? We saw the Pentagon coming out with a statement saying that there's no connection with the military of Thomas Crooks, the gunman who's been identified as the person who shot at Donald Trump. But any more word in terms of whether he was acting alone or, what exactly led to this particular event taking place?
Yeah, that's the big thing that we're still waiting for today, some sort of press conference from law enforcement agencies to give an update on all of that. Because what is a big unknown, a big piece of the puzzle that is still not being found out? What motivated this 20-year-old to carry out an attempted assassination? Police have been at his home during the course of this morning, and there is reporting in US media, not yet confirmed by the police, that a couple of explosive devices were found in his car, potentially a third device also in his home. Those were made safe. We're waiting to find out more details because that suggests there could have been a larger plot underfoot there.